Coming up on Veterans Matters, it's the retirement ceremony for Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Knotts. That's coming up next on Veterans Matters.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Major General Mark McDonald, Commander, U.S. Army Cadet Command, and the cadre and cadets of the Panther Battalion, Eastern Illinois University Army ROTC, welcome to today's retirement ceremony for Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Lawrence Knotts, following 22 years of honorable service to the United States Army. I will now read the official retirement orders for Lieutenant Colonel Knotts. Attention to orders. The Department of the Army, order number 312-0154, dated 8 November 2011. By order of the Secretary of the Army and effective 30 September 2012, Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Lawrence Knotts is retired from active duty, released from assignment and duty, and on the date following, placed on the retired list. The people from the United States express their thanks and gratitude for your faithful service. Your contributions to the defense of the United States of America are greatly appreciated. Signed, General Raymond T. Odierno, Army Chief of Staff. At this time, I would like to invite Mrs. Knotts to come forward. Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Army, presented to Mrs. Elizabeth E. Knotts. Commander's Award for Public Service, for selfless service to the United States Army from December 1994 to September 2012. During this period, Mrs. Knotts served the Army in a variety of volunteer service positions and as an Army family leader. Her distinguished career of exceptional service to improving the quality of life for Army family members and soldiers will have a lasting impact on the future of our Army. Mrs. Knotts' service reflects great credit upon herself, the United States Army Cadet Command, and the United States Army. Signed, Dean P. Schultes, Colonel, Infantry Commanding.
What is it? Perfect. Here.
This is Stephen's retirement certificate with the Department of the Army. About 22 years ago, almost to the day, because it was the middle of May, I gave Stephen his oath of office as a second lieutenant. And I've been proud to watch over his career past 22 years, and it's my honor to be able to retire.
Thank you, go to work. Put this back here.
In the Armed Forces of the United States, the ceremony of reveille brings our flag into the light and raised high. At the ceremony of retreat in the evening, the flag is lowered, folded in a triangle fold, and kept under watch throughout the night. After the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes on the appearance of a cooked hat, ever reminding us of the soldiers who served under General George Washington and were followed by their comrades in the Armed Forces of the United States, preserving for us the rights, privileges, and freedoms we enjoy today. The portion of the flag denoting honor is the canton of blue containing the stars representing the states of our veterans served in uniform. We now take the folded flag and symbolically pass the flag through the officer ranks, commemorating Lieutenant Colonel Knotts' rise in rank and responsibility. Cadet, 1 September 1987, at Xavier University, Cincinnati, Ohio. Second Lieutenant, 15 May 1990, Cincinnati, Ohio. First Lieutenant, 29 January 1992, Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. Captain, 29 January 1994, Camp Wolfskinner, Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Major, 1 October 2002, Fort Sheridan, Chicago, Illinois. Lieutenant Colonel, 1 October 2008, Fort Hood, Texas.
And retired 30 September 2012.
At this time, I would like to introduce Sergeant First Class Anthony Ho, representing the United States Army and the Department of Military Science.
Sir, your eyes, please
If I drop this, I'm gonna feel terrible, so this is. All right. Sir, if I may read these. Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Knotts, we commend you on your career with the United States Army. Serving Americans admirably, your dedication to the military profession is deeply appreciated, and this commendation is in recognition of your long and distinguished service for a job well done. Congratulations and best wishes for a happy, healthy, and prosperous retirement, dated 1991 to 2012.
I don't know what to do with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Knotts.
I really do appreciate everybody coming here. That last was a little bit of a surprise for me. I didn't expect that. So forgive me if I have to collect my thoughts for a second. My friends, family who are here, my brother, my parents from Detroit, my niece coming all the way from Virginia, local friends from the area, faculty, administration of Eastern Illinois University, thank you all for coming. Retirement ceremonies in the Army may be a little bit different than retirements coming out of Eastern Illinois University. In the Army, this is intended to celebrate the accomplishments and service of the soldier and his or her family. Frankly, this is quite difficult for me because I've always tried to keep the focus of any operation on the soldier, on the unit, and here at Eastern Illinois University, on the cadets. I don't like being in front of the camera. So if I can satisfy both the public and personal requirements for this afternoon, I hope that my cadets who are here may learn and grow from some of the stories of those who have been important to my career. My first teachers and mentors in the Army has been the sergeant, the non-commissioned officer, called the backbone of the Army. Whether it was Sergeant First Class Dowell bringing me to muscle failure PT as a cadet, Staff Sergeant Hendricks, who was my very first NCOIC and taught me the day in, day out of the Army in the Fire Direction Center, Sergeant First Class Vale, who taught an artillery lieutenant how to work in logistics and how to work in a co-ed battalion staff. I learned my profession through these NCOs, and I came to depend on their dedication and their commitment to the soldier and the mission, their technical knowledge in their specific fields. At each step of my career as a soldier, there has been an NCO that I could depend on. Sergeant Ho, for the last 3 years, we've worked in all different kinds of weather, day or night, in the field or in the briefing room, which was a different kind of war. And I've always been able to count on you to be able to say just one more thing. On behalf of all the NCOs who have supported me throughout my career, thank you. My cadets, I've had officer mentors who have come through me through my career, being able to show me how to see the big picture, how to plan, how to resource, the science and art of being an officer. Each step of the way, I had a mentor. First Lieutenant Camacho on how to be able to balance work and family. Captain Gerstenschlager on how to trust subordinates and not micromanage. Colonel Verteva on attention to detail and planning. Lieutenant Colonel Meade on how to be able to find resources outside of the chain of command. All of which has helped me immensely, finally in my last position here as a professor of military science. All of them gave me their trust that I could accomplish missions, and with their mentorship, demonstrated the camaraderie of the service. My team here at Eastern Illinois University, I couldn't ask for a better team. With so few cadre in this department, it has been vital to be able to have well-coordinated plans, independence of action, and opportunistic initiative. Often, we have covered for each other, learning from many more skills than is our actual job description, in order to be able to provide the best possible leadership training and development for our cadets. And I think we've succeeded. Finally, I have been in the Army since May of 1990, which makes 22 years next week. For the last 17 and a half years, I haven't walked this path alone. Beth, you've had a whirlwind experience coming into the Army. Thanksgiving of 1993, I call Beth up, and I say, I've got some good news and bad news. The good news is I'm on the captain's list. The bad news is we have to postpone our wedding because I'm being deployed. And I talked it over, I went back to one of my mentors, I was the S1 at the time, so I talked to my battalion commander, and I said, sir, I'm leaving Beth at home, we were planning on the February wedding, and he says, no you don't, you young stupid lieutenant. Marry that girl and bring her out here and we'll take care of her. And so we talked about it, sent her a plane ticket, and on the 20th of December, 1994, we got married. And 17 days later, I got on a plane for 3.5 months, going to Haiti. I left her with an ID card and the phone number to a spouse who knew what was happening. And that's how we started our experience. Since then, I've actually tried to come up and add up all of the nights that we have been not together because I'm at an exercise, a deployment, or other duty. Trying to count down, it's been around 5 years of times, of days and nights of missed goodnight kisses, birthdays, anniversaries, and holidays. But despite this, you have served the soldiers and families of every unit that we've been in, teaching families, advocating for their support, holding the hands of mothers who are giving birth because their husbands are with me when we're deployed. You have been my inspiration, my encouragement, and my very best friend. "22 roses." Not only that, but I've got some daughters who, as Army brats, also serve. And even unlike Beth, they didn't even have the choice to be able to say, I do. It just happened. Charlie, you want to put that? Go ahead, put that down. And I want to tell you a little bit about them as I call them up here. Charlotte has exhibited, for my cadets, there are 17 different leadership characteristics that we try to be able to instill in them to become an Army officer. And I see each one of these in my daughters, and they haven't even been taught. Charlotte exudes confidence. Katie. Mary Catherine, when she was younger, she said, I'm not Mary Catherine, I'm Katie. But she has shown me mental agility. And then my Lydia, who is always in the middle of things, but she knows what's what. She knows what's right. She has the domain knowledge to be able to carry on and doing what she needs to. We were, again, only about 5 years old when we came here to Charleston. And the first thing that we did, we were driving around for about 2 days, learning the town, and she went, Daddy, where do they keep the tanks? We had just come from Fort Hood, where they have literally 2 miles worth of motor pools, where there are tanks and artillery pieces and trucks. And we're at this new place, and she doesn't see where they keep the tanks. Every town has tanks. But despite all that, they have persevered, they have excelled, and on behalf of that, I have here, signed by Colonel Schultes, an certificate of appreciation awarded to Charlotte, Mary Catherine, and Lydia for the selfless service as an Army brat. An Army brat is a special type of person and an important member of the Army team. Army brats do not sign up to be in the Army, they are born into it. They sacrifice as much for their country as their parents. They know what it means to pick up and make new friends every few years. They know how it feels when their parents miss a school play, sports event, recital, birthday, or holiday because they had to work late, go to the field, or deploy to some distant place in the world. They know that it is hard to be an Army brat as it is to be an Army soldier, especially when we are an Army at war. But above all, Army brats understand their job is very important to their family, the organization, and to America. They realize that brats are the best reason the Army parents give their time to the service to serve our nation.
Okay, smile.
This way.
Yeah, you bet. Go this one. There you go. Push the button.
Thank you for coming and celebrating my family.
Oh, not our first rodeo.
Not our first rodeo.
Not our first rodeo.
I know, this looks very familiar.
I know.
If you want to let the people with cameras do the view here too.
Are you just going to cut the top part? That's fine. Okay.
Yes.
Top part's yellow, bottom part's red velvet.
Ready?
Ready? Yes, it is.
We all pool our money together, and we've searched and tried to think of the best thing to give you. And we would like for all your service to us. These are from 1944, 105 pack howitzer shell casings that were pressed into vases.
Look, they got the wow.
And this one is even stamped 1944 on it, so
It's even
proof
stamped.
of date.
That is awesome, guys.
And the seller
Wow.
was happy to see them go as a pair. sir. So that's for us seniors, sir.
Okay.
That is awesome.
There's someone who would like to.
Gentlemen, I couldn't think of a better present. I mean, I've been the one who's been bringing out all of these books and things and going, hey, look, this is from World War I. Hey, look, this is World War II. That is terrific. Thank you. Mr. Dano, thank you very much. Mr. Sack. One of the biggest factors in any soldier's life is their family. And my wife and I have been discussing about being at about time where I can leave the Army when I choose to. And there's several opportunities out there because I'm young enough to be able to continue to be able to get a job, and I'm much too young to actually retire. So we had talked about it for a while, and it was a family decision. We decided that it was about time to transition and to move on in a new direction. The military is a great organization to be able to learn how to serve each other and how to become a better citizen and to be able to serve the country. They gave me a job. They gave me, a home. I was able to have a family, raise a family during my time in the Army. But it's the character and the feeling of well-being of a job well done that I don't think I could have matched anywhere else. Well, the faculty and the administration at Eastern Illinois University has been fantastic. They're very supportive of the ROTC program, and they recognize that we're a leadership development program where we're teaching discipline but character and how to be able to have create an ethical, viable decision maker who is able to influence the people around them. With that, working with the university, I've tried to expand our visibility, and I think we've done a good job on that, being able to work through the different faculty. I've done guest instructorships at a couple of different classes, being able to reach out with the community and support those people who support the military. For the young men and women who are in this program, it is just amazing that all I need to do is present the information to them, and they suck it up like a wet sponge. They are motivated, inspired, continuously striving to do better, academically, athletically, and in leadership-wise, to being able to influential, motivational, and inspirational leader.